of the cerebral cortex. As I had told you previously, starting the cerebrum, that outermost covering of the cerebrum hemisphere is by the cerebral cortex, and this is outermost part is consisting of grey matter. Inside the grey matter there is present the white matter. Lying in the white matter there is present the grey matter scatteredly. This scattered grey matter present in the white matter is called basal nuclei. That you will talk later on, basal nuclei. So what is the basal nuclei? These are the scattered grey matter masses present inside the white matter. After this, if we compare the cerebral cortex with the spinal cord, the case is just reverse. In the spinal cord, the white matter is lying outside, grey matter is present in the center, and just reverse to it is in the cerebral cortex. Okay. Now see what is the white matter. White matter is the masses of myelinated nerve fibers. The myelinated nerve fibers bundles are present inside the grey matter, and that bundles of white matter, that is myelinated nerve fibers, is called white matter. The white matter, it is connecting the cerebral cortex to the other parts of central nervous system which are present outside the cerebral cortex. So that connections are done by or carried by this white matter. That is the importance of this. The white matters, depending upon its location, extent, we divide this white matter into the different three types of white matters. The white matters, first is association fibers, second commissural fibers, and third projection fibers. Association fibers, it is connecting the gyri, adjacent gyri of same cerebral hemisphere, very important part. Association fibers, they are connecting the adjacent gyri of the same cerebral hemisphere. They are not crossed. They are connecting the adjacent gyri. And these association fibers, they can be short or long. Forget this, because you can't remember too much. Okay, just remember what is the association fibers. Association fibers connecting the adjacent gyri of the same cerebral hemisphere. Okay. Second, commissural fibers. The commissural fibers, these fibers, they connect the functionally same cortical nuclei of the two cerebral hemispheres. That means, suppose this is the one cerebral hemisphere, this is another cerebral hemisphere. So commissural fibers, what they do, they from this side, they come on this side, but they are attached with the same nuclei which are having the same functions. So commissural fibers, they connect the nuclei of same function of the two cerebral hemispheres, and while doing this thing, they cross the midline. How the fibers of this side will come? By crossing the midline. So that is the commissural fibers. So commissural fibers, they connect the adjacent nuclei, functionally same nuclei of the two cerebral hemispheres, and these commissural fibers are of different types. The best example of it is corpus callosum. Look here, this is the corpus callosum. The different parts of the corpus callosum I will tell you just now. One is the corpus callosum. Another example of commissural fibers: anterior commissural fibers, posterior commissural fibers, habenular commissural fibers, and the hypothalamic commissural fibers. So all these are the commissural fibers which are connecting the nuclei of the same function of the two cerebral hemispheres. Out of all, the important one is the corpus callosum. Anterior commissure is smaller in number and it is connecting the adjacent two frontal lobe. Posterior commissural fibers connecting the part of posterior lobe, that is the part of occipital lobe and the part of temporal lobe with each other. The corpus callosum is connecting the complete part of the two cerebral hemispheres. Now see the corpus callosum. The corpus callosum is having, it is R-shaped, C-shaped collection white matter bundles, and C-shaped white fibers bundles we have seen on the medial surface of the two cerebral hemispheres. By cutting this cerebral hemisphere, corpus callosum, we separate the two cerebral hemispheres. That you know. Now see the different parts of the corpus callosum. The anterior rounded part, that is called genu, and genu is continued downward through this a thin strip of the fibers, that is called rostrum. Rostrum is connecting downward with the anterior commissures. From the anterior commissure, the lamina terminalis continued downward like that. Should I show that part, or you remember? The anterior boundary of third ventricle, this one. This is the part genu. Look this is the rostrum. Rostrum is connecting here with the anterior commissure. From the anterior commissure, again the thin strip of fibers which is named as lamina terminalis, and this lamina terminalis downward is connecting with the optic chiasma. And this is the part, you can see here the interventricular foramen. That third ventricle is lying here, and this third ventricle is connecting with the lateral ventricle through this interventricular foramen. Anterior, this part, interventricular foramen. And all these are the boundaries, anterior boundary of the third ventricle, that is anterior commissure, lamina terminalis, and downward optic chiasma. Posteriorly, or see above, its posterior boundary is formed by this grey matter mass, that is thalamus, and thalamus of this side is connecting with the thalamus of opposite side by